ああ、今日は来てくれて嬉しかったぜ、エイジ。
あ、うん。
今度は一人で来いよ。な。
それ、どういう。
I went into this anime having never watched a boys love anime ever, unless you count Link Click, which did kinda go in that route. As a Jamaican, we don't do that, and I honestly watched no trailers, so I didn't know what was coming. I just watched this anime purely off vibes and the high ratings it has gotten from the community. I mean, Banana Fish is in every top 10 or top 20 list. I got hit with this scene by episode 3, but by this time the story had hooked me and I was already strapped in for the ride. And man, is this the gayest show I have ever watched. Let's talk about the MC Ash, who is clear male bait. Bright blonde hair, sharp green eyes, and a jawline that could spread butter. He's feminine but dangerous, and violent but also somehow thoughtful, well-read, eloquent, self-aware, and self-assured. The personification of romance fantasy in a way that's utterly unbelievable, but the plot makes us believe. The other MC is the opposite, older, emotional, confused, cowardly, you get the point. Eiji Okamura is a foil for Ash in every way conceivable. The primary antagonist of this anime is Goldzine. He runs a club where he sells kids to distinguished individuals. Mr. Goldzine also draws parallels to another famous New Yorker, as it is interesting that this anime occurs almost completely in New York. So, from that alone, you should be able to tell that some very messed up things happen in this anime. The main MC, Ash, who is so infallible, actually has maybe the worst backstory of any character I've ever encountered in fiction. When I say it's bad, I don't mean that it's poorly written. I mean that he has survived things that would destroy a lesser man. I won't get into the detail of it, as that would for sure get this video blocked, but we can all confirm that this kid is traumatized. He was raised by Goldzine and forced to work at the Diddy parties from a young age. All that stuff, while disturbing, isn't actually the gay part. Even the way how Ash sometimes weaponizes his sex appeal to get what he wants from grown men, even that isn't the gayest part, trust me. What actually made me feel the way I do about this anime is the attention to detail in the screenplay between Ash and Eiji. There's genuine chemistry, the dialogue is immaculate, and it really gets the viewer invested into their relationship. This anime isn't just surface level gay, it's deeply gay. It's not like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's more deeply gay.
そばにいてくれ。ずっとなんて言わない。今だけでいい。
I did find it a bit unrealistic how quickly Ash opened up to Eiji. Traumatized people are not usually this open and willing to share. Yet he has known Eiji for about 5 minutes and already shares his whole life story by episode 11. It's convenient for the plot, but not really believable in the grand scheme of things. Also, a 17-year-old gang leader with absolute control over his men is a ridiculous ideal to maintain. Ash seems more like a feminine fantasy than reality. Somehow they snuck some Twilight into my animes. The edgy teen with a damaged past, a heart of gold, vicious mob ties but a gentle spirit, a Vogue model who guns down armies at night. Now, this is a Wattpad fantasy if I've ever read one. Within the frame of the anime, however, they attempt to explain some of the unbelievable ideas with a few characteristics. Like the fact that Ash has an IQ over 200, which is ridiculous by the way, was trained by an elite Russian special forces soldier, and his time in the streets have also made him exceptionally intuitive in determining the character of a stranger. This does help, but it doesn't explain away all the things that don't make sense about the character. Another thing about this anime with regards to its male relationships is how they went about episode construction. You know, the anime does this weird thing where the episode titles seem to have no material alignment with the content of the episode. That's at first. But then it seems to incorporate the concept in the strangest mind-melding way. I'll give you an example. Episode 13 is titled The Snows of Kilimanjaro. This at first makes no sense because we are in the middle of a gang conflict in New York City, and Kilimanjaro is a remote mountain located in Tanzania. Anyway, the anime takes us to a flashback where Ash is talking about life and death, and he makes a reference to a random leopard on the mountain and what it was trying to achieve when it passed away. His intrigue for it is the fact that no one fully understands what the leopard was trying to accomplish, and how it got in the position to perish so close to the summit of the tallest mountain on the planet. How this aligns with Ash is that he is so close to a goal that outsiders may not understand, and he's willing to perish while attempting to achieve it. So despite the strange naming convention, the episode actually ends up making sense. While we get to see even more insight into Ash as he bears his soul to Eiji. See, this is what I mean. It might not be absolute cinema, but instead it's pure depth. I almost forgot to talk about the plot of the anime, and there's a reason for that. It's unimportant. You'll get what I mean in a second. Banana Fish is supposed to be about a mind-altering wartime drug called Banana Fish, which Golzine attempts to develop with the US government, and Ash's struggle to stop that from happening. Despite all the complexity and intrigue in this James Bond level plot that Banana Fish initially promises with regards to the drugs and its usages, the banana fish itself ends up just being a MacGuffin. For the uninitiated, a MacGuffin is a term popularized by Alfred Hitchcock almost a century ago, which describes an item that is central to driving the plot. It doesn't really matter what the item is or does, as you can replace it with anything and the plot is the same. Like the cube in Transformers, or whatever MacGuffin the Autobots are chasing in the latest release.
Give me that cube, boy!
What simply makes the MacGuffin relevant is that it provides motivation for characters to move the plot along. It gets people to do things. What I realized while watching the anime, however, is that the disappointment with the main plot never mattered to me because the plot was never the focus. The focus all along was the relationship between Ash and Eiji, and how Eiji was Ash's salvation. I can therefore conclude that I sat through 24 episodes of a boys' love relationship simulator, and I can't tell anybody in Jamaica this, so I'm here online to tell you guys. The most unrealistic thing about Banana Fish is the ending. The good guys actually manage to win, the high-powered PDF files are brought to justice, and the ring of CP enjoyers are exposed to the public by the end. Which we all know that that's not reality. I'm releasing more videos about this anime, so check on screen now. Click here. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'm sure I will see you again.